Hi, it's Nick Shell, the internet receding hairline guy. Here's the thought of the day. Now, I feel like just about every video I do, I talk about how my hair is thinner right here. I tend to mention that. It seems in every video. Again, I'm age 35, and that's pretty normal to happen for someone my age. And I didn't notice that happening until I was age 30. So that's about the time that kicked in, which truly brought in the true fact of a receding hairline, like I mentioned yesterday. The difference really between a receding hairline and maturing hairline is your hair thinning in addition to your hairline going up. So my hairline has, I feel it started receding at 19. But as far as the actual thinning part, that started at age 30. Now, I realized that with my phone that I shoot this with, I'm holding this, what is this? Is this maybe a foot and a half away from my face? If not even closer. This is pretty close to my face. Now consider this, most people, they're seeing me something like this. In real life, this is how it would actually be if you see me. You're not gonna see me up close, and you're also not going to see me in such bright sunlight. So, I mean, let me try to figure this out. Right over here, there's some shade. So I think most people would see me something like this. See how there's there's no sunlight. This is how most people see me all day long, right? Okay. So if you saw me, would you think, okay, yeah, he's got thinning hair? I don't think that's what most people are going to think about. This is how I look in normal light. Now consider when I'm doing these videos, you're seeing me technically in the worst light for as far as showing off my hairline, right? But it's the best possible light to see what's really being exposed. So keep that in mind when you're watching these videos. But I keep saying my hair is thinning right here. And as far as, was it a couple days ago also, I made a video talking about how I can't really have short hair anymore because my hair's thin to the point where I can notice it and it bothers me. So I'm either gonna shove it down to a number 1, which I can be proud of, or I'm gonna have hair that's at least 2 inches on top, because that takes away from the fact that it is thinning, that it's thinner, especially right here. And another thing too that I have to keep in mind is what I'm noticing, as long as it's parted to the side, pushed horizontally, it really does a collective mass here in which it distracts from the fact that my hair is thin. Now, granted, if I want to make sure this is the, okay, there we go. So I'm totally in the sunlight right now. I can't even see myself in the camera, but even though I can't really see what it's showing, but maybe you can see my scalp shining through. I mean, but look, that's what it would take to show that. But as far as anyone other than watching these videos being aware that my hair is thinner right there, probably not so much. But again, I'm doing certain things to make sure of that. I'm making sure my hair is long enough on top. I'm also or short enough on top with a number 1 guard if I'm shaving it off. And I'm making sure it's not combed back. I'm making sure that it's kind of a little bit cloudy, messy up here too. Nothing to just bring attention to it at all. But you know, it's funny because when I make these videos, hopefully it reflects something about you watching this video. And that is, I almost want to use the word exploiting. That's probably the best word. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think ultimately what I do with these videos is I talk, and have you ever thought, how does Nick come up with these subjects to talk about every day? Now granted, some people like Carlos and Harry Q-Ball will give me ideas and I'll do videos, but for the most part, I just spit on the phone. Hopefully that won't show up on the, okay. But for the most part, it's just, I think, what would someone be thinking about today about their hairline if they're sorting this out? And that's where I come up with it. So that's I thought something that might be relevant. So this is kind of like an indirect sequel to yesterday when I talked about the difference between receding and maturing. So keep in mind that no one else is paying attention to this as much as you are, as far as your own hairline and maybe your insecurities about it. You're most likely your biggest critic, and I think the way you go wrong is if if you've just really lost most of your hair on top, but you still have it, but you're in denial and you still have it thick, that'd be one thing. Or if you had anything to just draw attention to the fact that of that. But I think the main thing is just downplaying it. I think you can downplay a receding hairline, and I think you can still accept it at the same time because you're simply making the most of what's going on. So yes, my hair definitely is thinning. I'm just trying to show you this in all lights. It is definitely thinning here. Other parts too, but definitely here. But remember, most people seem like this and they don't know. So I hope you find this helpful, because I mean, I find it helpful just talking about it as far as that goes. That most people aren't analyzing you the way you analyze yourself. Nick Shell, the internet receding hairline guy.